Thunder took a beating yesterday. Belt to ass. No two ways around it. Lakers fans, congratulations on the win. Luka fans, congratulations on the win. Lakers fans who were Mavs fans 2 months ago, no congratulations towards you. But, you know, congratulations to everybody involved. Just a belt to ass whooping. So a couple of things to talk about here. Because I got tweets. I got, stay on that side. You said the Lakers had no chance against the Thunder. Now, in my defense, I said I picked the Thunder in 6 games. I did give the Lakers 2 games. I said I picked the Lakers in 6 games, the Thunder in 6 games. I'd give them 2. Does this change anything? Well, let's talk about the Lakers because they were incredible yesterday. Great shot after great shot. Started the game red hot from 3. What were they to start the game? Like 12 of 15, something insane to start the game from 3. Luka set the tone immediately. Had a great first quarter. I mean, just doing Luka shit, right? Crazy step backs over Hartenstein, over Holmgren. We know that's what Luka likes. You get those big switch on him, which I don't think OKC hates. I think OKC lives with Chet on an island against Luka, although Luka cooked Chet a couple of times. He had that one where Luka had it, Chet guarding him on the perimeter. Luka starts dancing, gets to the elbow, completely lost Chet. They had to peel switch in the middle of the fucking play because Chet got completely lost, and it led to a wide open corner 3. I don't remember who exactly it was. I think for either Dodo or Vincent, somebody like that. David, welcome to Slightly Delusional Club. And Luka was just picking him apart early. Luka set the tone. OKC switched Dort off too easily, in my opinion. I do agree. And the Thunder changed up their defensive coverages quite a bit in this one. Changed up their defensive game plan quite a bit throughout the course of this game. I do agree there, although I think the Thunder are okay with that, though. Because it's a lot of times it's, Caruso switches on, Case and Wallace switches on. And like I said, I think they're okay, especially when they're running double bigs. I think they're okay with Hartenstein or Chet getting switched on. I think they kind of live with it there. Now, with that being said, every team is going to look good when you start the game 12 of 15 from 3. Every team has a chance to beat any team when you start the first 2 quarters of the game shooting 80% from 3. Now, let me just say that. Okay? Let's just start there. That's just the truth. Take with the $5. Can we get a Trump impersonation for the fraudulent Thunder? We'll wait. President Trump's a busy guy right now, destroying the country. So for us, he's sort of our play-in aficionado. He gives us updates on that. So we'll check in with him later in the week as these things sort of play out. So anyways, just a monstrous 3-point shooting game for the Lakers. And again, they got really good looks. So if you're somebody who says, just a Mickey Mouse clubhouse level 3-point shooting barrage from the Lakers, I would agree, right? If you were to tell me in a playoff series between these two teams, the Lakers shoot 55% from 3 every single game, okay, that changes the dynamic of the fucking game, right? That changes the dynamic of the series. But they did get great looks. They did get really clean looks. It's kind of similar to the Mavs series last year against the Thunder. It was like, yeah, they got a lot of pretty good corner threes that they're very okay with shooting. And we know that was the MO for the Thunder defensively all last year. We're cool giving up these corner threes, right? We're cool with it. The Lakers, 7 of 14 from the corner, 50%. 16% of their shots, corner threes. That's in the 94th percentile. Now, they did shoot 56% on non-corner threes, so above the break threes, stuff like that. That is an unbelievable number. It was a 99th percentile 3-point shooting game. Okay? So, yes, all of that's true. A 3-point shooting game, that is, I don't want to say fluky, but I mean, it's 55%. I saw Cranjus McBasketball. I follow him. He does some real deep level deep dives, right? He was mentioning how the organized offense for the Lakers, that's something he monitors, which is how often they run sets and actions, was really high. They're getting good looks, but it was also the first two quarters for the Lakers was 2 of their 7 best shooting quarters of the entire season. And from a expected point, it's all a lot of mumbo jumbo to me, but I understood what you're saying, but it's more difficult for me to regurgitate it that from like an expected point per possession perspective, it was a good game for them. But obviously they got some 3-point shooting luck. And, you know, we'll see. They play tomorrow night. So I'm interested to see how the Thunder approach that game. Because I'm not even going to take the approach that I honestly thought I would have taken if the Lakers won this game, which was, the Thunder aren't really playing for shit. And the Thunder probably look at this and say, we very easily could face the Lakers in the second round. So let's not, you know, let's not show too much. If we lose, we lose. It doesn't matter to us. Like, let's not show too much. Now, that being said, watching the game, I didn't really feel like that was the case. You know, I feel like they were making in-game adjustments. They were mixing up their coverages quite a bit. I think the Lakers just got them. I think the Lakers just got them. Now, a difference between the Thunder this year is that they still give up more corner threes than any other team in the NBA. That's something that they're comfortable with. That's something they're comfortable giving up. Teams don't shoot that well from the corner against them, right? Because I think they fly around defensively. They're going to contest that shot. So it might not be a comfortable 3-point shot. But they do give up that corner three quite a bit. And we know Luka Doncic-led teams, it sort of had died off a little bit. The Mavs weren't generating anywhere near as many corner threes, really, in the playoffs last year. And then that sort of bled over into the season this year. I think teams were mixing up their defensive coverages. But since March 1st, the Lakers have attempted the 5th most corner threes in the league. So it's kind of one of those stylistic things where the Lakers, the Thunder are cool giving up this shot. The Lakers love taking that shot. It's something to monitor, right? I also, the Thunder got killed on the glass, I thought, in this game. Like, the rebounding is really frustrating. You might look at the numbers, 8 offensive rebounds. Isn't that much, really, but it was the way in which they happened. Some real frustrating, especially when you're down in the game and you're trying to mount a comeback. Some real frustrating defensive rebounds that you missed out on. And offensively, they struggled to get going. And this is the concern, right? If you were to tell me the Thunder do not win the West, I would immediately say, was JDub bad? And the answer to that question will absolutely be yes. JDub fucking stunk it up in this game, man. Stunk it up. 16 points, 4-14. It looked worse than that. Just could not get going whatsoever. I thought Shea was actually pretty solid in this game. But JDub, man, he's something else sometimes. Very frustrating player. Very frustrating player. SGA getting 0 free throws is crazy, LOL. Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of plays where he got fouled for sure. But I don't think they weren't calling a lot of fouls either way, I thought. But there was the play where like Luka started bleeding from the lips. I thought, was that not a clear and obvious foul on Luka? But again, like they swallowed the whistle, I thought, for most of the game. SGA in playoff form early. SGA was incredible in the playoffs last year. So you're just rambling. Just rambling. Yeah, Hartenstein push was clear. They were not calling things. I love SGA, really do, but his game is not spontaneous enough. It gets old. I don't even know what that means. SGA is too consistent? Is that what you're saying? It's a weird critique of a player. SGA still had a great game on 0 free throws. Hurts the free throw merchant narrative. Yeah, I thought SGA was good yesterday. But the Lakers defensively, I thought, you know, that size that the Lakers have, the positional size, did kind of throw the Thunder for a bit of a loop. Just, you need more than 6 shots from Chet. Is OKC the team you'll stream during the playoffs? I'm streaming the playoffs. Like, my goal is to just stream pretty much every night except Thursday nights. So that's the plan currently. SGA doesn't peak as high as some of the other top 5 players, but his floor is probably second only to Jokic. I mean, SGA's floor is like 24 points. I think we see SGA on Luka Kawhi playoff level this year. Only question is if he will get enough assistance, in my opinion. I'm not worried about Shea at all. Like, Shea's not, I don't even, like, I thought Shea was fine yesterday. I do. I'm not worried about Shea. I am worried about JDub. That's my concern with them. Can JDub come along for the ride in a real serious way? Because if you want to win the finals, your number two can't just be like a cycling cast of characters, right? Your number two needs to be a dude. So can JDub be the fucking guy? That's the question. He struggles against some of the better teams in the league. He just does. He struggles against some of the better teams. OKC is 9-12 versus Denver, Dallas, Houston, Golden State, Minnesota, and the Lakers. That stat means absolutely zero to me. I'm just being honest with you. That stat means nothing to me. They lost 3 games to the Dallas Mavericks. What do I do with that information? How many of those games were without bigs earlier in the season? Because you don't like it? Because regular season stuff takes context out of everything. When you're looking at individual head-to-head matchups, like if you were to say, hey, the Thunder are 1-3 against the Mavs this year. Oh, okay. Like, shit, the Mavs might have a chance then. Hey, and the one game that the Mavs lost, Luka played in. So, like, they won 3 without Luka. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So the Mavs have a chance in the playoffs? Oh, well, what's some other context of those games for the Thunder? They were without both of their bigs in most of those games? Okay, that changes the context quite a bit. OKC had only lost 1 game in the East. Lakers have only won 1 less Western Conference game this regular season. Odd stats. Partho with the $10. JDub dribbles like me, man. He's the most talented melon in the league. I just can't figure out someone who can't dribble or create space with negative passing vision can average 20 in my beautiful association. He's a pretty good playmaker. JDub is. But yeah, he's got to consistently reach a point where he's putting pressure on the opposing team's defenses. He's hitting shots. He's attacking defenses that are in rotation because they're sending help towards SGA. He's attacking teams' secondary defenders because they're putting their best defender on SGA. And he's beating them. He's making them pay. That has to be the point JDub reaches this postseason. I don't know how that sent twice, Partha, but thank you for $20. He can hit difficult shots. He can hit difficult shots. He can hit that mid-range jump shot pretty consistently. Last year he was one of the best clutch shooters in the game. Clutch mid-range shooters in the game. Listen, OKC fans, his passing vision has fallen off a tremendous degree since he's taken an increased scoring load. JDub, how did you get JDub? He's called JDub because J will, and then the JW becomes JDub. That's how. Do we know how serious OKC takes the last few games? Aren't they practically locked at 1? Save it for the playoffs. That is one way to approach this game. I don't think that's what happened. I think the Lakers just beat their ass. Like, that's what I think happened. It does kind of change things, right? Like, I'll have to sit down and think, these two teams met around 2. Do I give the Lakers like a real legitimate shot? Because I hadn't been giving them a real legitimate shot up until this game where I'm just like, okay. They generated a lot of really good-looking threes. They're not scared. Like, that's one thing about the Lakers versus this Thunder team. They're not going to be scared, right? They're not going to be threatened. They're not going to be intimidated at all. I thought the Lakers did turn the ball over quite a bit, which is the thing that would scare me about a Lakers matchup against the Thunders. I think the Thunder would ramp it up, and the Lakers would have a turnover problem 100%. When has JDub ever had passing vision? He's a decent player, Dub, to have passing vision. No, JDub had a lot of moments last year where he was like the primary creator on the team with SGA off the court and looked pretty good. Outlier shooting game, in my opinion. Definitely an outlier shooting game. But they also won by nearly 30 points. And it was like a 30-point game the entire time. Caruso actually bothered Luka a lot. So the Lakers offensively tailed off in the second half. How much of that was we're up by 30 points. Let's get to the finish line. Probably a decent amount. But I did notice sort of an uptick in just Caruso being annoying as fuck on ball in the second half versus the first half. And the pace sort of slowed down to a way that I think helped out the Thunder defense quite a bit. But then on the flip side, the Thunder couldn't score in the second half. Is OKC as good as last year's Celtics? All stats, all advanced analytics would tell you that this Thunder team is one of the greatest regular season teams we have ever seen. It's difficult in hindsight to look at it because obviously the Celtics went on to win in the finals in a dominating fashion. I mean, they just ran through everybody. But there were times throughout the regular season last year where the Celtics would lose a game and we'd be like, yep, and that's why. That's why the Celtics can't win in the playoffs. That's why the Celtics won't win the finals, because Tatum and Brown turn into pumpkins down the stretch, or their clutch offense isn't good enough, or they ISO too much down the stretch. Like they shoot too many threes. Like that was constantly sort of a thing throughout the season last year for the Celtics. So it's difficult to look back at it with the hindsight. 2-2 against the Nuggets, 1-1 against the Lakers, 2-2 against Houston, 2-2 against the Wolves, 1-2 against the Warriors. I don't know why y'all think among West top tier OKC are untouchable. They aren't. I would need to see all of those games, the context in all of those games. The head-to-head stats to me are so fucking wonky. They are so wonky. That's why, like, I think most people who predict the playoffs and really break down playoff games rarely ever look back at like early season head-to-head matchups, because it's just too much has changed. OKC owns the East. They don't really own the West. 2 of those losses, no Shea. 6 of them, no Chet or Hart. 2 of them, both no Chet or Hart. That's what I'm saying. It's just like the Mavs, they're 1-3 against the Mavs. It's like, so people throw the Mavericks into that mix. The Mavericks are not a threat to beat them in any way or shape or form, okay? I don't even think the Mavericks are making it out the play-in tournament. So people throw the Mavericks in there because it makes the record look worse for the Thunder. So they throw the Mavericks in there. Why do they do that? Because they're 1-3 against the Mavs this year. People forget that when Luka doesn't care about a game, he already checked out before the tip-off. Well, he needs to get that out. If you think that it's a thing that Luka does, he needs to get that out of his bag immediately. Like, if you're a Luka stan saying that, that's not a good thing to say. Why do y'all defend OKC so much? They haven't done shit. Is there a difference between defending OKC and not just wanting to say, oh, yeah, OKC's frauds, like you guys are wanting them to say? I think OKC is less flawless than you say because of their lack of legit offensive stars outside Shea, but still think they're way better than other West teams, and Shea is best in the world, in my opinion. It really comes down to JDub. I mean, that's really it. I'm not worried about Shea whatsoever. Not worried about Shea in the slightest. I am worried about JDub. And I do wonder. So let's just throw this hypothetical out there because it's the day after this ass whooping, and these are the narratives we're gonna go with. If disaster were to strike in the playoffs for this Thunder team and JDub struggles, do we have to have some weird conversation? Do we have to have some hard conversations? OKC is the favorite, but you're talking about them like they're the 2017 Warriors. I'm talking about them like that because all of the historical indicators, all of the stats, everything that Thunder have done so far this season has put them in those conversations. Do you understand that, correct? You understand what they've done this regular season has put them in rarefied air. Like historically, the things that they have done puts them in conversations with like the 5 best teams ever. Brother or not, I don't care about the stats. People said the same thing about the Celtics last year. Use eye test, biggest bro. They've steamrolled teams. That's what my eye test tells me. I've watched them shit on almost every fucking team that they've played. They're 64-14. They've won 50 more times than they've lost. No, I'm just like, guys, just say that you think that they could lose. That's fine. But like, don't come in here and be like, what? Like, why are you comparing them to these teams? Like, what's the like? Use your eye test, bro. They're not very good. Like, I'm sorry. That's fucking nonsensical to me. Did this last year too, right? They were nowhere near this level last year. Nowhere near this level whatsoever. Nowhere near this level. Like, come on, give me a break. We've talked about this. They were tied with the Mavericks for the third best odds to win the West last year, going into the playoffs. Going into the playoffs last year, they were tied for the third best odds. Bro's rooting for another 6'7" MVP point guard candidate to cope. I mean, he's not really a candidate. He's winning the MVP. What's the coping, though? I don't really get it. You're not making any sense. Simmons is leaning Jokic. How on earth could you vote Jokic MVP? They're going to be the 7th seed. How on earth could Jokic win the MVP? I'm sorry. They're going to be a play-in team, probably. Yeah, SGA is nowhere near the same size as Luka. Luka's much bigger than SGA. Bill Simmons said SGA is a lock. SGA is a lock, absolutely. It's over. So, anyways, excited to see this matchup tomorrow night. To see what changes there are, if any. But really impressive showing by the Lakers, man. Really impressive showing. I mean, Luka was just dominant from opening tip-off. Just sort of took control of the game. Crazy three-point shooting. Dodo couldn't miss. It is the Reeves, LeBron, Luka effect. And one thing I'm watching, because when the Lakers offense really slowed down late, and again, this was just kind of the game was over, but we've seen this a bit where the Lakers offense has tailed off late in games. It's become a lot of LeBron. And there was, to start the fourth quarter, the game was pretty much controlled, but to start the fourth quarter, a lot of kind of ugly LeBron post-ups that went deep into the shot clock that led to nowhere. Austin Reeves is a top 35 player. He's had a great season. I don't know about top 35. Third quarter Lakers, our Lakers weak heel. I mean, I would say second half in general just feels like it tails off for the Lakers quite a bit, which, I mean, would kind of align with a lot of Luka era Mavs numbers where the second half, especially the third quarter, tails off. Non-first quarter Lakers are their weak quarters. The reason offense gets bad is Braun takes the ball. The Lakers are just it's just a hilarious fandom to see from afar. Because it is just like a couple nights ago, they lost to the Warriors, and it was like, Luka's probably not staying here long term. What's going on? Are we like, did we fuck up? Like, did we miss AD in a matchup like this? I saw all of that all over Twitter. Fast forward a couple of days, this team's winning the West. This team's winning the championship. It is one of the funnier roller coasters there is. It's one of the funnier roller coasters. Bro, Luka's time of possession as the Lakers around 6.5 last year on Dallas. He was 8.3. Nobody wants to talk about him not having the ball as close to the season before. It's for the better. I was getting yelled at all season long because I said for Luka's career, it's better for him to not have that insane workload on him every single night. Now he's on a team with LeBron and Reeves. Sure, they might need to work some stuff out. Iron some stuff out. But I think there's a reason why you look at Luka's career numbers and they tail off over the course of the game pretty dramatically. It's not fair to ask that of somebody to have the ball that much. It was low to start the season in Dallas as well. And he still fucked up his calf halfway through the season.